Okay, so guys, I'm gonna start a series where I talk about movies that I love that basically everybody hated, and so I'm gonna just start doing the series because there's a lot of movies that I like that a lot of people, hate it, and then years later, develops a cult following and stuff. So let me get into it. So I'm gonna start it up with Catwoman. Let me tell y'all something. I freaking loved the hell out of this movie. When it came out when I was in middle school. I loved it. I even had a video game. I even played the video game with my mom. It's just I've always loved Catwoman. It's also one of my favorite movies. Yeah, granted, it's not it's not a comic book story from the comics. It's just a brand new story. But like I said, this movie, granted, it doesn't follow the comics at all. It's not the typical Catwoman backstory like us people that like the Batman movies would know. It's a complete different story. It's just, I've always loved the story. I've always loved the fact that Holly Berry plays this girl, Patience Phillips, and the fact that she's a shy person and people walk all over her. And when she becomes Catwoman, she gets confidence and she don't put up with BS. And the fact that, who the villain is, and the fact that she ends up clearing her name. And it's crazy because the plot is, it's about this cosmetic company that they're coming out with a product that is hurting people's skin and stuff, and Patience Phillips is, you know. But like I said, it the movie, like, I love the soundtrack. I've always loved the fighting scenes, this and that. And then the fact that Patience Phillips, she wants to clear her name and stuff. Well, no, let me phrase it. The fact that she wants to get revenge on the people that killed her, and I don't know. I'm gonna always love this movie. Like, granted, a lot of people hate this movie, but over the years, I think it's developed a cult following. I think, but like I said, I'm still always gonna be angry at the fact that they never made a sequel. Like I said, Catwoman, this movie, it will always have a special place in my heart. Always, because I grew up loving it. This movie came out when I was in middle school. Like, I loved the hell out of it. I did. Like I said, it's not for everybody, but I've always gonna love Catwoman. I am. And the fact that, she, Patient Phillips, ends up, overhearing something she wasn't supposed to hear, and then the bad guy, the bad villain, Laura, wants her to be taken care of, and then so the Patience is, she's also developing a relationship with a cop. It's just, I love this movie. I do. It's just, and I watched it yesterday. I haven't seen this movie in years because decided, fuck it. I want to get a Catwoman Barbie doll. I was one, so I'm like, fuck it. And it's like, let me go. And I rewatched it, and I loved it more. And, like, I don't know. I just love this movie because, granted, it's, a lot of people just don't like this movie, but I get it. But I honestly think Catwoman, it was ahead of the time. That's what I honestly think. At the time, people didn't really understand it, but now people are like, oh, yo, people are like picking up on it. The fact that, like I said, I don't know. Catwoman, I honestly feel like it was ahead of the time. It really was. Like, when it came out, a lot of the comic book fans and Batman fans were pissed because it didn't follow the same story. It's a different story. I honestly would love someday if we get a sequel, but I doubt it's gonna happen. I mean, it would be really awesome if they did like a reboot where, like, Patience Phillips has a daughter and her daughter comes to town and it's a daughter and her father's the cop. I don't know. Like I said, I, I'm gonna always love Catwoman. Like, back in the day, I had the video game. I'd play it. My mom would even play it too. And it's just, I don't know. It's, like I said, it, honestly, the movie, it just always shocked me that it, like, showed how evil the beauty industry is and about products and stuff, and that people in power or with money will try and protect stuff But like I said, I don't know. Like I said, I love it. I recently had a conversation with one of my friends, and they were saying that they didn't like it. And I'm like, I'm going to always love Catwoman. That's me. And I'm excited because I'm going to order the Catwoman Barbie doll because I was one of the Barbie doll. And I'm so mad at myself because I had the video game back in the day. I got rid of it. No, I'm going to get the video game. And one of these days, I'm going to get a TV and I'm going to hook it up. And I'm going to play Catwoman. And I don't know, like I said. Granted, though, Sharon Stone she did a great job of playing the villain, Laura, in the movie. Like I said, it's just, it's, when I watched it yesterday, I was feeling bad for her character, being married to this evil man that, is not great to his employees, and it's not a great husband to her, this and that, and she's having to step down as being the company's model for a new young fresh girl that he has a thing for, which granted, I do get the fact that Laura was really angry because her husband because she was aging out of being the head model for the company ads and stuff, which is, it is what it is. But like I said, I don't know. I don't know. Like I said, thinking back on it now, it's crazy because it literally came out years way before all of this crap right now is happening with, stuff going on in the world. But like I said, I don't know. I honestly, the movie, I don't think it's supposed to have a message, but when I watched it yesterday, I picked up on the fact that the message I got from it is that Patience Phillips was a shy person. When she became Catwoman, she ended up, getting confidence to stand for herself, blah, blah, blah. One of my also favorite scenes is she's a neighbor that's really rude and obnoxious with sound. And so when she's Catwoman, she goes and she, breaks up the party so she can go back to sleep. And, like I said, I'm going to always love Catwoman. I'm sorry, I've said that multiple times in this video, but Catwoman is going to always be one of my all-time favorite movies. It is. But peace.